Hey sis, welcome back to Black Girl SOS. It's your girl Snobby, and today we are talking about Black women and cannabis. And as always, I only bring you the best of the best. My dear, introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, my name is Rhonda Jane. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I'm currently here in Los Angeles, and I am one of your favorite Black women in cannabis. If you don't know, you will know after this podcast.
I know that's right. First of all, thank you, Rhonda, for making time.
Thank you.
Y'all see my girl is in the car. See, this is love. This is what love looks like. My girl is in the car and still making time to be on the pod. I appreciate you.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much. So
Yes.
let me tell y'all where I know the good sis Rhonda from. Like she said, she's from Buffalo. And if you don't know, I am UB alumni. You know, some of y'all favorite people. Some of y'all favorite people is Rough Buff. I'm gonna let y'all know.
Buffalo adjacent, Buffalo
you might not know. They either from Buff or we went to school in Buff. So y'all don't know, but we've been moving the culture for a little while. Wake the fuck up if you sleep. Wake the fuck up.
Wake it up. Wake that ass up.
So I wanted to talk to Rhonda about Black women in cannabis. One, because she's a dope Black woman in cannabis, and two, because my family, we are transitioning into the cannabis space as well. My family owns a farm in Virginia, and they have at one point they were given the opportunity by local municipalities to grow some cannabis, and they did really well. And
wow,
as it's
so
and as it's becoming more legalized across the country, obviously us attorneys are trying to do really well also. So
hello, there's a method to this cannabis madness.
Exactly.
Get in where you fit in.
Exactly. So
seriously,
as we are all finding our lane and trying to branch in, I was like, let me tap into my girl, because my girl been doing this a very long time. Sis is not new to this. So tell me how you got started in the cannabis industry.
It's so crazy being obviously, like I said, I'm from Buffalo, New York. I got my start as a consumer, a cannabis user back in college. That was the first time I decided to indulge. I was 18, had a stressful ass day on campus at UB. I would always go, kick it with my homies afterwards.
UB will do that shit to you. UB really will sit you down the wrong path.
I was the drinker, right? I would come in, I'll have my quick little vodka or have my beer and, be on my way. They always had a little rotation. This day, I was like, yo, after whoever's last, pass me the blunt. Yo, no smoking today. And it was funny because I'm like, I've never been anti-weed, up to that point. I was on my 13th birthday, somebody offered me the blunt. I declined, not because I was too good or too bougie. I just didn't want to. Didn't want to. Not, oh, I'm too good to smoke. I don't want to smoke. I'm just like, no, I'm okay right now. But something was like, oh no, you'll be back. I knew I'll be back, right? So basically, long story short, I started smoking cannabis at 18 just for recreational purposes. I moved to Los Angeles at age 24, 23, 24, can't even remember. 24. I was 24 when I moved to LA. And basically, I got my start at a cannabis vape company. So I just did some online, research, just trying to find a job in cannabis. I wanted to be a dispensary girl, right? I wanted to work in the shop.
That's what's up.
But then that's not actually what came about. How I found this job, it was on Indeed, and they needed an administrative assistant. I would have been basically the vice president. I was the assistant to the vice president of sales for this cannabis vape company. So that's how I got my start. I started being an errand girl. I was a runner. I would deliver to delivery services. I would deliver to actual collectives. I would bring on and onboard new hires, our sales agents. So I got the job because I had great admin and great sales experience. That's how I got my foot in the cannabis door, not because I was knowledgeable in cannabis, not because I understood the difference between CBD and THC. I learned that after getting my foot in the door, but I smoke good. I like to smoke, and I know how to talk to people. That's how I got my start.
You see that, people? You see that? Do not let these job descriptions hold your ass back.
Yo,
apply anyway.
Serious? Oh my God, serious
apply shit. Anyway. That is a real thing.
To that same degree, I look at Donald Trump when he came in and he was campaigning to be president. My man had no type
Your
of
man
experience.
still has zero experience. After 4 years of the job, he still ain't got no goddamn experience.
Settle. But in that same breath, he was really my inspiration for honestly going ham in the cannabis space. So I'm like, there's not a lot of Black people, number one, and then there's not a lot of Black women
at all.
There's not a lot of Black women that own a dispensary, that own a delivery service, that own a CBD or THC product line, that owns an edible company or is a master chef in cannabis. We're very far in between, you know, and that's on purpose. Just like any other industry, you find Black people trying to be in the craft beer industry, so to speak. I'm also a part of that. We're very limited in number visually. Why? Because we're such a powerful force. If you get too many of us here, you're going to find out that we can take over because we're smarter than we appear. So I decided in cannabis, it's fun to, you know, smoke and have fun. It's great to enjoy this beautiful plant recreationally. As I started working at this vape company, I started learning a lot more of the medicinal benefits and how this is crucial and beneficial to the beautiful Black community that we've especially been, we've especially been very impacted in a negative way.
Absolutely.
By this plant. So in my weird brain,
by the law, not by the plant, by the law.
By the there law. You go, the law. Because there's been several research studies done. There's been a lot of legislation done that proves that this plant is not harmful. However, what's shown and propagated to the general public is that this is bad and we have to control this. And you know, they put everybody in a box with this plant so that you can't regulate yourself.
I mean, and that's on brand for the way laws are written, right? So it's the war on drugs when it's anything that marginalized communities have access to, and because marijuana is priced at a point where marginalized communities can afford it, okay, well then that's a drug we can attack. Whereas, you know, the very high-end drugs or the designer drugs, as they like to call them, like your cocaines or whatever, they are not as heavily policed. However, they are much more detrimental. More than the studies show, most crimes that are associated with them are much more egregious than crimes that are associated with cannabis use.
But what they'll do with those egregious crimes, they'll try to shuffle and fit marijuana in the mix.
Oh, absolutely.
To, you know, to
call it the gateway drug.
Their point. Yes.
Oh, it's because they started with weed. No, Buddy was on that coke back in '88, baby. He been high, okay? I saw that motherfucker.
He was on that high. Oh boy. This ain't the Jolly Green Giant. Right. That's that white boy.
And now, and then also to your point about, you know, the way they use legislation to try to move about the different communities. When it's our community, it's a war on drugs. And when it's their community, it is a crisis. It's an epidemic. And we need to get medical professionals involved. And we need to not criminalize the behavior. We need to rehab the behavior. But when it's us, throw these motherfuckers in jail.
Yeah, and I mean, like we deal with PTSD just from slavery, not to mention our current state of affairs in the Black community.
I grew up in the Bronx in the 80s. PTSD is my middle fucking name, okay?
Woo! I grew up in Buffalo, New York in the 90s.
I don't know if you've seen
that shit was frightening.
I don't know if you've seen the Netflix documentary Crack.
Yeah,
that's what I grew up in. That's literally, that's New York City in the 80s. That is what that whole documentary is. Live and direct, like that's actual footage of the shit I grew up in, happening over crack vials coming out of Girl Scout. Like that's PTSD is literally all the fuck we know. The fact that I don't smoke weed, honestly, is quite impressive.
It's so funny, like it's not for everybody to partake or indulge.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's not for me. It triggers my migraines. It's not for me. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt and the fucking headache to prove it.
Right.
So. but
there is a way to consume.
But just like you, I was never one that was like, weed. I was not just like you. I was never like that. It was like everyone has their vice. For me, my vice has always been drinking. I can do that and be fine and function as a human being. Weed, I can't really fuck with that shit.
She's like, that's not for me. It's not for me.
It ain't, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. I don't knock nobody that smoke by all means. Shit, I used to live with a waking baker. Do what you need to do to get through the fucking day. I'm not here
through
to
the
judge
day.
you.
But be
I'm not here to
productive,
judge.
right?
Yeah, I'm not here to judge you. Take it on the balcony though, because I got asthma. But other than that, shit, go forth and flourish.
Live your life. Live your life.
That's it.
Yes.
That's
Literally,
it.
there's a vice for everyone, but even to the consumer who say they tried to smoke before, but it wasn't for them, but they're experiencing certain health issues and they're curious to see if cannabis could be beneficial to them. How could they, inquire about cannabis use without smoking? I don't want to smoke. I don't like the smell. It fucks up my lungs. But I do recall when I would smoke, I would feel really relaxed. Is there a way I can feel really relaxed without smoking the weed?
Right.
Yes. Let me point you in that direction. So with me working at that vape company as an administrative assistant, which was basically the Jane of all trades, I learned so much. I'm weighing out eighths. I'm weighing out pounds. I'm freaking, bottling up concentrates.
Got your hands in everything.
I have my hands in everything. So I'm like, okay, as I'm onboarding not only new hires and sales associates, I'm onboarding our potential clients and new customers. So we call them and we consider them patients at the time, and they technically still are. So in an onboarding, what do? You have a consultation. Let me assess where you are. Let me assess your needs. Let me assess what we can possibly do for you. No guarantees. It's not at all, it's not a cure. It's not a catch-all, but let us help you see if we can offer you some relief. You have bad joint pain. You have, carpal tunnel. Let's give you a topical salve that you can rub into your wrist, and that'll take effect within 10 to 15 minutes. You feel great. You get what I mean? So I love that I took away from that the consulting factor, because that's what I do with one of my brands, which is Higher Vibration Remedies. It's basically an all natural organic skincare line with CBD. And with your purchase, I give you a wellness consultation. Whatever you want to ask, you can text it, you can call me, you can email me, you can Skype me, you can Zoom me. For 30 minutes to an hour, you have my undivided attention prior to your purchase or after. So, and this is honestly, I like to do this as an ongoing thing because I want to check in with you after you've made your purchase, right? Awesome. So I'll do a follow-up, a couple days after you got your package. Hey, hope you like everything. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm available. Because with this particular product, with cannabis, not everybody is willing to educate you on what you're using, on how to use it, on proper dosing, on hey, I didn't like that. Can you explain to me possibly why I would have this reaction? Maybe that's not the right strain for you. Maybe the endocannabinoid system that you have is more receptive to a sativa strain versus an indica strain. Maybe you don't need any THC. Maybe you need CBN. Maybe you need CBDA. Maybe you need THCA. There's so many different cannabinoids. We just hype up THC and CBD because those are the more known, but all of them play a very significant role in wellness and your overall being. So
I think it's really dope that you take that time to do that. I think that's really,
I love it.
It's super
Honestly, I love it because, like I said, it is important. And everywhere else you go, when you go to different CBD websites or cannabis websites, they're not offering the education. You want to know where to start. You want to know what to do. You can spend all the money in the world, but if you don't know what you're spending your money on and how it's going to affect you, you're wasting your money. So I'd rather give you the education, give you the tools, shop with me. And if you decide to go elsewhere, you're at least well-versed and well-educated on what it is that you want and what you need.
No, I agree with you 1000%. I have I've been trying to do my research, obviously on my own, just reading, and not because I'm consumer, but because if I'm going to work but if I'm going to work in the space, I need to know what the hell I'm talking about, right? I don't charge a little bit of money for my profession, so I do need to know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, it can't be, hey, I'm going to be a lawyer in this space and I'm going to charge you this couple $100 an hour. But girl, I ain't really sure what to, no, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, exactly. So as I'm trying to educate myself before I really move into this space, I 3000% agree. There is not a lot of substantive education into the variant strains. And not for nothing, if I didn't have just some random Girl Scout background in botany, I wouldn't even think to look for no random ads. I wouldn't think to look for variety because I don't consume it, because I don't really know about it from personal use. I wouldn't think on my own to go looking for these various strains. I would go off of whatever is consistently publicized to me like any other person. Yep. Literally, it's off some random background and fucking with plants at the Girl Scout that I'm like, well, maybe there's more versions of this shit. Like, let's look. Listen, you never know what
like if y'all was good for anything, I got this plant.
I'll tell you right now, you don't know what little seeds get planted in your head when you are a child that come back in your adult years that benefit you. Be a sponge when you're still young so that you can absorb some shit. Because that shit came back and I'm like, listen, I know kingdom, phylum, genus. I know that there's got to be more than one variety of this shit. I did very well in the hard sciences.
Yes.
Excellent. There's got to be more than one fucking version. That's all I know. What the version is, I don't fucking know, but we're going to get on this Google and
we're going to figure it out. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
We're going to talk to the Rhondas of the world, the fucking smart Black women who can educate us.
Who can help, literally. And that's where we're so crucial. That's where we're so crucial. And that's where we help each other. I basically, I feel like it's funny. I've been smoking since I was 18. I'm about to be 34 next month in April. I've had almost, half of my life consumed with cannabis at this point. And moving from the recreational wave to the educational phase to the working in the industry phase to now me being a consumer of I'm recreational, but I'm also medicinal. I medicate when I have headaches and I have cramps, just to subdue my mood. I'm really grateful that I came out of the cannabis closet. So like I said, I've been smoking for almost 15, 16 years now, but it has such a stigma that you keep it low key, you keep it quiet to a certain degree. And there came a point where I just said, why is this something that I feel like I have to hide, even though it's federally illegal and all these different things? I'm like, there's something about this plant that makes me feel good.
Right.
And I have so many questions as to why it's so criminalized. I have so many questions that seem to not be able to be answered. I'm going to get some fucking answers. Like that's what it all came down to. As far as where I am right now, and I call myself your favorite Cannabae. I'm knee deep in this.
I love that Cannabae.
I'm a boo-boo, I'm a lover, I'm a hugger, but I'm your Cannabae. And I'm gonna. Hey, what's your question? How you feel?
Yeah.
What you want to know? How can I help you understand this plant better? Do you want to consume? No. Do you want information on your mother? I have people with parents, parents in the 60s, 70s age, and all the finger wagging these West Indian folk would do. Don't you be smoking this plant? Don't bring this ganja in the house. Now, hey, would this work for? Yes, it would. You whooped at me and you yelled at me and you threw out my stash and Jesus, and now you want to be involved.
And you owe me $50 so that goddamn stash you threw out back in fucking 82. I didn't forget.
Let me convert you and let me have my I told you so moment and let me educate you and help you get some healing. You know what I'm saying? So like I literally, I started my blog, Dope Mom Collective, when I was pregnant with my son, because I'm pregnant now, right? I've been smoking my whole life. I get my positive pregnant test. And of course, before I know I'm pregnant, I've obviously been smoking. My birthday is April 15th, so 420 is 5 days later.
Around the corner.
It's a smoke fest, a smoke party. So, when I find out I'm pregnant, in that May of 2018, I start to get these feelings and thoughts of worry again. And I start to regress back into the bad cannabis person because I'm now pregnant, right? Yeah. So that programming that I had spent all this time unprogramming came flooding back the second I was with child.
Wow.
Right? So now I had to really reckon with my personal choices and my lifestyle and my belief in this plant. So am I gonna now double back to wagging my finger and cannabis is bad, bad, bad because I'm pregnant now? Or am I going to stand by this plant as I've seen it show and prove time and time again? As I work at this cannabis company and we provide cannabis oil to companies that provide this to children with seizures and epilepsy.
Right,
so if
wow.
I'm working in this company and I'm seeing this firsthand, why am I feeling bad? Why am I feeling guilty? Because it was programmed. So as a pregnant mom, just 4 weeks pregnant, 5 weeks pregnant, I literally took up in myself and I said, you're gonna do your pregnancy the way you've been doing your life the last few years, honestly and authentically. And if you want to consume
smoke
cannabis,
while you were pregnant?
I did. I smoked up until maybe 3 months, because I also looked at the different phases of what the baby's development is, how big they are, if there's, all of this. And I smoked up until 3 months, joints only, no more tobacco. Or if I had to smoke, I would take a puff out of, a bowl. And then from there, after 3 months or so, I would do bath bombs, CBD bath bombs, lotions, topicals. So I removed smoking after that, after the first trimester. And then I was like, okay, let me just, get knee deep into other cannabis options that are more safer for my personal mental. If other people want to smoke and consume during their pregnancy from start to finish, I'm not knocking anybody, because being honest, it helped me a ton. And my doctor even said I never had any morning sickness. I never had any harsh pregnancy symptoms. And my doctor actually attributed that to my cannabis use for so long.
Wow.
She said, you have a very healthy pregnancy. Wow. And I said, well, I consumed a lot before I got pregnant, and I've been a cannabis user for a good amount of time. I didn't know I was pregnant.
Into your DNA now.
and that's what I kind of thought too. Like my periods would slowly not be so harsh, not so, not so much tug on my uterus or my lower back. So for me, the pregnancy symptoms, you feel like you're on your period when the baby's implanting. So I'm just like, life is normal. Right. I didn't realize I'm pregnant until I missed a period. That's what I was
don't nobody know until then.
Literally. And I was like, wow, my body is changing right before my eyes. And I had no idea. But the fact that I felt so good during this transition and so normal during this transition, cannabis, if anything, enhanced my pregnancy and enhanced my mood. I was able to combat and deal with my day, because you can't drink. You really can't drink.
I know.
You can't be popping no Percocets. You can't even take Advil.
No kids yet.
You can't even take Tylenol. I can't even eat fish or sushi. There were so many restrictions. I'm like, this is a plant. Everything can be a toxin, but if you have the right dosage, you're okay. If you're not abusing, you're okay. So I said, what's going to make me comfortable during this pregnancy if I'm in dire pain, or if I just want to consume, or, whatever my mood is. And I said, I can go without smoking the rest of this pregnancy, but I will be happy to get this bath bomb action in because my back hurt. I worked up until January 1st. My son was born January 13th.
Oh, so he has my mom's birthday.
Oh, little Capricorn baby. Yes. So I worked up until almost 39 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
So not every woman is, able to kick their feet up at 30 weeks and do their thing.
This is the necessary legal disclaimer. This is not medical advice for you or your pregnancy. This is Rhonda sharing her experience.
This is my personal experience. Yes.
We suggest that you consult with your medical professional if you are pregnant on whether or not cannabis is suitable product
for you.
Legal disclaimer. Need to get that out there.
It's totally different for everybody. And you have to know yourself. You have to know your body. You have to know if your partner is comfortable with that or not. Like me and my man are knee deep in cannabis individually and collectively. That was not an issue for him at all. He supported me 100%. And that's also why I felt the need to continue to come out of the cannabis closet. So my pregnancy was back in 2018. And then I started my Instagram page and my Dope Bomb blog around, I want to say around month 4 or 5 of my pregnancy, because, this is that crucial time where I'm looking around to see other beautiful Black women that look like me that consumed during their pregnancy, or decided to stop as soon as they learned that they were pregnant, or just anyone in that, on that spectrum. So I could gauge, more of how I feel and how I want to proceed. And I saw nobody.
And also, it just helps to not feel alone going through some shit like that.
I saw no one that looked like me. You see beautiful white women and other women of color, and that's nice and it's cute, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. So, in my quest to still find this tribe of Black women in cannabis and dope moms and Cannamoms, I just started my own page. And then I would start finding little hashtags, and I would slowly find some Black gals. So her name is Shanitra Anthony. She's super cool. Her page is called Blunt Blowing Mama. She's a super dope Black mom in tech and in cannabis. I also met Who Let Me Be a Mom. She's not Black, but I met her in this, in this same little space. And then there's another woman, Lizzie Jeff. She's not a mom, but she's a Black woman in cannabis. So like slowly I started finding people that were, in my wheelhouse, and things I needed to see to affirm my feelings and to affirm my thoughts and to affirm, what it is that I plan to do as far as the rest of my pregnancy went, and, raising my child as a cannabis consuming parent, and honestly, that was the best thing I could have done for myself. So this was back in 2018, but last year, I feel like January 2020, I feel like is when I fully came out of the cannabis closet. Like I did an interview with Voyage LA. It's a magazine, a publication out here in California. And instead of talking about, my marketing and my PR experience and my communications and journalism and, music and everything that I'm also a part of and into, I literally just wanted to highlight where I was going in fucking weed.
I love it.
And to me, that
take your fucking flag down.
It was really humbling, and it was also freeing and liberating in that same breath, because I feel like, people know me, but not everybody really knows what you're fully about. I was able to actually convey, this is what drives me. Right. I'm passionate about this. I believe in this. This isn't just, let's get high and have fun. It's not for me. Right. It's not. It was. Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. It was at a point.
Listen, we've all done a lot of shit
20,
at UB.
21.
We all did a lot of shit at UB. That's the time to do the shit, though. College is the time. If you're gonna do, I can tell you right now, the very last time I smoked was at UB. I was in grad.
No regrets, yo. College was one of the greatest experiences.
I was in grad school, ever. And I was with Carrie Ann. I want to say Milk was there. I can't remember. And a couple other people. The long story short of that shit is, first of all, we were leaving a house party, so everyone is already fucked up. We don't need a post party, right? Because we all pregame, then we go to the party. We don't need a motherfucking post party, but you know what? We did. So we
gonna do it anyway.
We gonna do it anyway. So we caucus. I don't even remember whose house we were at, but it's somewhere off campus by South. They're smoking, and I don't normally smoke because I'm not a smoker, and everybody knows that. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna smoke today. Dumb idea.
They love it. They love it when you do that.
Let me tell you something. Very dumb idea. Very, very dumb idea. Because at this point, I had smoked in well over a decade. So I don't even know how I'm going to react to marijuana anymore, because I haven't smoked in eons, right? And even
it's not even in my system.
And even at that point, that's probably the third time I'd smoked in my entire life. So I don't have any real grasp on what this shit is going to do to me and my drunken state. Baby girl, when I tell you, I couldn't even make it back to North. I had to spend a night at my homeboy's house. I had a migraine for days. I tried to sleep under that nigga bed. I was like, no, the light, no. Yo, I was like Gizmo in the fucking Gremlins. Turn out the fucking lights. It was tragic, and that has been my experience every time since that I have smoked, and I've probably only smoked, I want to say maybe once since that time, and I've had edibles since. It always triggers my migraines, even edibles. I come to the conclusion that me and Mary Joanna, we're not a cohesive unit. Because I can't be having no fucking migraines all the time.
Yeah, migraines are not what's up. No.
And I suffer
from
really bad migraines as it is. I don't need no shit just triggering it because I volunteered for it. So yeah, me and even when I can function, my head hurts so bad that I don't want to.
Oh no, yeah.
I'm just like,
and
nah,
honestly, there are certain strains or certain terpenes within the cannabis that can affect you in that way. So at least your body conscious. If you're gonna consume, I recommend to a lot of people, if you're gonna consume cannabis, you have to be body conscious. That means you have to be already in tune with yourself and your personal wellness, because this plant can affect you in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Both good and bad, you know. So it's very important to know, you know, what you're feeling in that moment. It's important to know your diet. Do you have a crappy diet? And if you do, at least you can itemize what you're eating throughout the day. And hey, how do you feel after this meal? Maybe you should cut out cheese. Maybe you should reduce your red meat intake. Maybe you should increase your iron. Maybe you could increase your protein without meat. How about some lentils? How about some beans? Like when I give people a consultation, it's lit. I'm in their business. I'm in your, because cannabis is going to affect you in a lot of different ways. Whether you want to smoke it in flower form, whether you want to smoke it in a concentrated vape form. Hello, like
hold on. You know what? I smoked for a week before. I felt like I thought I was a thug. I did. Or maybe it was like 3 days out of the week. I know I was with my older cousins and they all smoked like a chimney. But this again was still like 1,000,000 years ago when I was hella younger and my body could break shit down a lot quicker.
And weed has gotten exponentially stronger over the course of the last couple of decades.
Oh,
I'm talking.
For sure.
I'm like, just from me being in college to now, I'm like, the stuff I'm smoking, I'd be like, bitch, is you fried or is you fried?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about 2 Halloweens
I'm like, what do y'all put? Why are y'all trying to kill us? I'm just trying to be comfy. I'm not trying to be.
My last edible was 4/20/20, but it was from the same pack that was sent to me the year prior. First of all, this shit was crazy. Okay, my homegirl, listen, me and my homegirl had some edibles, had some drinks, went to our haunted house, little shit that we do on Halloween. And that girl, I'm telling you right now, because I know she's gonna fucking hear this. She thought she was paralyzed as she was running around the car. I was like, oh, no more edibles for you, motherfucker.
No more Eddies, baby. No more Eddies for you.
And I was like, I had a headache, but I was fine. It's just that my head was hurting so bad, I couldn't take any light. So that is what was killing me. Fast forward to pandemic, and I still got the fucking edibles. And I'm like, nah, I gotta get these shits out of the house. I don't even want to smell them. Like, they're so strong. I can still have them.
A year later, they're way too potent. Throw them shits in the trash.
Right, and I'm not stupid because I can smell it through the packaging. But it's 4/20. We're stuck in the house. It's quarantine. Fucking Versus is late because of Teddy fucking Riley. And what the fuck else?
I missed that one.
It's like, what else is there to do? And I didn't even take a lot. I took a very small piece because now I know better, right? I've learned my lesson from Halloween when we ate half the motherfucker like a pack of nerds. I learned my lesson. So I took a really small piece, but I'm also drinking because I'm always fucking drinking. It's the pandemic. Where am I going? Girl.
Where are we going? Nowhere.
When I tell you it took a little longer for the headache to kick in, oh, but that shit kicked in. I would sleep on that couch while Babyface was serenading me from the office because I had nothing. I had nothing left to give. And after that, I packed that goddamn edible up. And when my bro that smokes all the time came, I was like, I have a gift for you, my brother. Take it.
Here you go, bro. This is for you.
Home. I was like, this is for you. Know your limits. To the point. Know your limits. There are definitely variant strains, variant potencies. Know your fucking limits. Yes. I know mine and I'm out the game.
Seriously, honestly, learn your limit. Don't let people, persuade you or peer pressure you because, I can handle it. You can't. No, everybody's weight is different. Every body type is different. Every metabolism process is different. If you know your limit, do what you are absolutely comfortable with. And tell niggas to shut the fuck up.
Now, I think they got
Because you ain't gonna ride this high. I'm gonna ride this high.
Exactly.
I gotta deal with this shit. You shut the fuck up. I gotta be the one high.
Now, some shit doesn't affect me at all. So me and one of my bros out here, we were at who was here? I want to say Pitbull was here. Lord knows I don't miss nothing Pitbull do. Was at a Pitbull concert. And they had it's Florida, so it's free, it's free range out in this motherfucker. And I can't remember if it was a CBD snow cone or a THC snow cone. I really can't remember. Good. But we tried it. Of course we tried it, because what else are we gonna do, right? Of course we tried it. But it had no effect on us. So I can only assume that it was a really, really low
dose.
Right. Because we both were like, I was like, you feel something? Because I don't feel nothing. I was like, it's been like an hour now. I don't feel shit. I was like, man,
this shit whack. This shit do.
I was like, man, I'm going to the bar. Let me stick to the shit I know.
That's usually when that shit kick in the most and be like, bitch, you high now, ain't you?
Listen, and I was expecting that also, but I just think it might have been really low. I wasn't mad about it because who the fuck knows? It might have been migraine.
I'm glad.
that was before quarantine. That was before the last migraine. So, I'm glad. But for me, I am absolutely tapped out of the game. Like, lessons have been learned. My body is not, metabolizing that plant in the way that it does for other people. And I'm okay with that.
Listen, I'm a big ass stoner. I've learned that dabs are not for me. Like, I'm down. I'll do a good quick rip or two.
Yeah.
After that, don't make me hit that shit again, dog, because I'm gonna be choking and dying real hard, and my chest is gonna be on fire, and my nose is gonna be running, and my eyes are gonna be crying.
You're gonna be looking like a flea.
Take it, yo. Dabs are like, I don't need to be that high that fast.
Right.
I don't. Unless we about to be at a festival and we can't bring no weed in. This is all we got.
Right.
So cool.
If they're gonna take the shit from me, then.
Other than that, like, I have friends that will take dabs throughout the day.
Wow.
That's too fucking much for me, fam. That's a gram or more.
That's a really high tolerance. That's a very high tolerance.
Concentrates are literally that. Concentrates are concentrated weed. It's a much higher dosage in a tinier freaking package. So I'm like, no. I don't need that. That's not for me. And that's okay.
That's insane. So I want to know what your experience as a Black woman has been in this space. Have you found like mentorship? Have you found that other Black women are coming to you for mentorship? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, honestly, it's a little bit of both. I've reached out to several different women in the industry just as I've been trying to come up. Della even connected me with someone.
Listen, everyone loves Della. Della is the connector.
I love him so much, yo. Like, it was random. He randomly, I don't know if he randomly messaged me on Twitter or if he randomly had my phone number. It was one of the two. And he was like, hey, Ron, you should link with my homegirl, Mary. School's house and cannabis space. It was just like, I think he was just like, yo,
it's so on brand for Della, and that's why he's
it was out the entire blue.
Della, if you're watching, I love you the long way forever and ever.
Yeah, because it was cool because I've never heard of her prior to him just randomly saying go check her out. So that was cool for me. So her name is Mary Pryor, and she's the CEO of Cannabis on if you go find her on Instagram or find her website, super cool. It's clearly exactly what the name is, cannabis inclusivity. You go to that page, you see like her signature color is like this cute gold, and then like the font is real nice and stylized, give you like a nice 70s groovy type of feel. But then when you go down the timeline, you see beautiful Black faces, and a lot of stories she covers are of women, Black women in the cannabis space. Obviously they include a lot of LGBT stories and you know, everybody else as far as in
Yeah.
the diversity mix. But it's just nice to literally see yourself
Yes.
as 90% of the feed versus 10% or
Right.
1%
And
of the
also
feed,
to
you know.
see
And
yourself on the positive side of a cannabis story, right? Because we
yes,
know that we are
yes,
disproportionately affected in the
yes,
negative
yes,
light with cannabis.
yes.
So
That's
yeah,
important too.
absolutely.
That's very important too, because, you know, when I first got, you know, on the scene, a lot of women in cannabis are either, you know, you're just behind the scenes in the books as the bookkeeper and accountant, but you know, you can't really be in front unless you're a sexy weed vixen and you're half
Right,
naked and
right, right.
you got
With the
glitter
flag.
pasties on your tits and your
With,
booties
with
out. And I'm just like, and no knock to anybody who's, you know,
not at
whose lane
all,
that is. None.
but we can
But
be more. But we
we
can
can
be
be
more.
more. Thank you. We can be more, and we can be seen, and we can be represented, and
Right.
we can be accounted for, and our stories deserve to be told just as well. So
Exactly.
that's why I felt it was important to kind of highlight women in cannabis myself by way of Herb Noir Media. That's still up and coming. That's my little PR marketing firm for cannabis. And I
Okay.
just like to highlight other beautiful Black women in cannabis.
That's
My
when you
cousin,
were
she's based
promoting,
up
when you
in,
were looking for writers and
yes,
okay,
yes,
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 I
because
recall.
I don't want that. I
See,
want
I
that to
keep
be
my ears to
mine.
the ground on everything.
Yes, yes, that's my other little project baby right now. And I feel like this year and next year it will be very pivotal to get off the ground in a big way, because it's bigger than me. Like, I want that platform to, that's why I'm kind of like behind the scenes on that one. I want that to just to get out on its own,
Mhm.
and I can just be the driving force, you know, low key. But I want other people to be the face of Herb Noir. Black weed, black
Right,
weed, black weed.
right.
That's it's literally black weed in French. Black weed, black
Mhm.
women, and I have the E stylized for black women in cannabis,
Love
black
that.
weed. So, you know, I've reached out to different women. I've become a mentor, and I've been mentored by a lot of different women in, you know, the cannabis industry. I feel like I've linked up with a lot of cool weed peers, if that makes any sense. Like,
That makes
there's a girl
absolute
named,
sense. That's
cute,
how
it's
I
cool.
feel
Like,
when that's how I feel when I meet people who are really, so we know I drink, right? But aside from the fact that I drink, I really love rum, like study rum. So when I meet people that like know a lot about rum and know about the aging processes and just like different brands of rum and the way that they produce their rum, that shit is exciting for me. I'm like,
it
oh,
is.
friend, you know? I'm
Yes,
like really
literally.
excited to meet
So
somebody like that. Yeah.
yes. So outside of, you know, meeting Mary by way of Della and meeting other people, I've come across Lizzie Jeff. I consider her a cannabis peer. I think she's exactly my age, about 33, 34. She's based out here in Los Angeles, and she's just like, she's the CEO and founder of Zen and Kush. And that's basically a sensual wellness, basically being
I
one
feel
with
like I've
yourself in
heard of that
cannabis.
before, like on
if
some
you if
blog that
you
I was
Yeah,
reading.
her Instagram is Lizzie Jeff, and her theme is real pink and eclectic, and just, she got the cool ass fly afro, and she hosts every Monday. Typically it would have been at 3:33
Mhm.
Pacific Standard Time. She hosts a nice little sensual room just basically for fellow Black women and anyone
I
else. It's all
love
inclusive,
that.
but it's targeted for Black women. But anyone is welcome to basically learn and share and to uplift the Black collective. So it's really, really great. And she's just very inspirational in what she does. And she works in tantric massage and Reiki and just aligning your chakras and just being sexy and being weed free, and, you know, just that whole, you know, vibe. So I like her because she's embodying that sexual weed vixen, but basically taking her power in it, if that makes any
Mhm.
sense. So not
That
like
does.
being the weed vixen where they're like,
She's not being sexualized by what other people are saying is sexy.
yes,
She's dictating
yes,
what is the sexy.
yes,
I love that.
yes.
I
She's
love that.
she's steering the conversation, and it's so empowering and it's so emboldening for people who, you know, who are not exploring their sexuality.
Right,
And it's cannabis aside. It's cannabis, yeah, but then it's also wellness, and it's
right.
also sexual health, and then it's also mental health. So it's a really broad room, but what brings you here is the herb. So she'll have a moment for everybody to take a quick smoke break, or have a moment for everybody to share what they're grateful for. Hey guys, take a water break, drink some fruit, you know, eat some fruit right now. Like really like mindful
I
wellness,
love that.
intentional. We'll check in with each other, you know, like
I
so
wish
I've
I could
met a lot of
participate in something like that. I love that. I couldn't
I'll
take the
forward you.
smoke. I
Yeah,
could never sit in the room with that much smoke in the air
yeah.
because
Yes.
of my
So
asthma.
it's virtual. It's virtual. So it's a
Oh,
Zoom
so now
meeting.
send me that. See now
Yes. No, I'll forward you the link. It's
yeah, I'm like if
I
we
literally
zooming
love it.
in, I'm in. I'm in. I can zoom
Yes,
into that.
yes.
I
And what
love
you'll see,
this.
she'll moderate the room, but you'll be able to see other people. You'll be able to basically she asks for you to tap in the in the chat box, connect with other people, list your handles, share with what you do, and vice versa. Network. This is a room for networking. I want you to find a friend, but we also want you to network and build your businesses. Like the main purpose of the room is business and networking with the guise of tantric
Holistic
wellness,
wellness.
health, and whatever. Yes, but it's been so impactful for me. I've been a part of this for a couple of months now, and then since I've been in beauty school, I had to tap out real quick, so I haven't been as active the last, what's it, like 3-4 weeks, maybe last month, but it's so good.
I'm glad you brought up beauty
Yes.
school because I want you to share with the queendom how you are one. First of all, what caused you to transition into beauty school, and then two, how you are bringing these two passions together.
Yeah, so I decided to take my talents to the Nahuli Academy of Beauty downtown in Los Angeles, and I'm studying to be a nail technician. Basically, I just want to specialize in the health and care of your natural nails in an elevated way. So I'll be providing licensed CBD massages, pedicures, manicures, and a basic feel acrylic set, gel X sets, basically to help enhance your natural nails. So I don't mind tips and enhancements, but my basic concentration, if you're going to enhance the nail, if you're going to add anything on the nail, your natural nail needs the best care first. So that's how I'm going to tie in my health and wellness. I make my own cuticle oils with CBD in it. I make my own topical balms with CBD in it. So it would just be another way for me to market my products after offering you a beautiful service and taking time with you and educating you on even how to take care of yourself better, take care of your nails better. Because literally, I'm learning so much in school. I decided to transition into beauty just last year. It's been something I've wanted to do for honestly 3 to 5 years, but I was just like, I kept putting myself in a box, and I'm like, you're not a beauty school type girl. You're not a girly girl. Like, all these. I'm such a tomboy.
Sis, you are all the things.
Literally, I'm like, and that's why I'm like, I kept putting myself in these boxes, but these different opportunities just kept coming to me. Right. So I'm just like, you know what?
Punch you in the face if you don't listen. Pew pew.
It was gut checking me, and it was so crazy because the quarantine and the shutdown is basically obviously another nudge. A friend of mine, she was teaching me how to do the gel X extensions. That's the appraise system where you apply, hard gel or soft gel. The natural nail, you apply a tip, and then you get decorated from there. Easy, a lot better, a lot healthier for your natural nails. Yeah. So I'm just learning how to do quick, easy decorations just because I can't get to the shop because I'm a new mom now. Yeah. Right? That was my main thing. The pandemic hits. I just left my job. The pandemic hits. And then I laughed. I'm like, in this whole mayhem, people still want to feel beautiful.
Absolutely.
In this whole mayhem, people still want to feel pampered. You take that away from people, you make people feel like savages.
And then how can we behave like savages?
Thank you. How can we find a way to keep our sanity in this mayhem at an affordable rate? And how can I incorporate my beauty and wellness line?
That's right.
And give people the proper education.
Always
weaving it all back in, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do nails, but what's gonna be my specialty? 420 cannabis based everything, but offered the options for non-cannabis based services. I can do a cute little, basic manicure. I don't have to put weed leaves on you, but I want you to know that is my specialty. That's what I'm known for. I'm your favorite Cannabae and your favorite nail tech now, but that's not the only focus. Let me give you the best manicure you've ever had. How long do you normally, rub your arms? 5 seconds. Let me give you an actual 5-minute massage.
That's why
And
I
show you
miss
how
my
good that
tent.
circulation is going to be that you want to pay me for 15 more minutes.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, let me take care of
Absolutely.
my beautiful Black people. I don't want people feeling rushed in and out, rushed service. You know, and honestly, not to knock anybody or any nationalities, I got tired of going to nail techs or going to be pampered and spending my luxurious dollars and not feeling luxurious and
Absolutely.
not feeling well taken care of. So I basically found myself feeling a void. I'm gonna take this shit into my own hands, and
I,
we're gonna be nice to people.
I support
We're
that
gonna rub these people's feet.
I support that
We're gonna rub your
3,000%.
hands.
I support that. I say all the time, if you don't see what you're looking for, then make it. Create
Then
it.
make it.
Fill the fucking void. I mean, that's where most successful businesses come from anyway. A filled
Yep.
void.
And
It's
that's
really,
what
it's a lot
Highest
simpler than
Goddess
people
LA
think.
is. Yep. So that the name of my beauty company is Highest Goddess LA. I actually launched the online website for, like, you know, beauty supplies, nail decals, cute little fun stuff. That'll be launched on 420. But right now I'm accepting clients, you know, for practice hands. I should have my license, I want to say by my birthday, but that's not ideal. I have 9 weeks left. So I should be done about
I
the
was about to say,
end of
because
May.
my braces come off right after your birthday, and that's in 6 weeks. When I tell you
Yeah.
I'm watching the clock,
She's
to get
watching the clock.
I need my teeth to have freedom. I am watching the clock. 6 weeks from
you can't
today.
even tell you got them. They look good. Are they white? You got white
No,
rubber bands in there?
no, black.
They look cute.
Thank you, but
I think maybe how you were talking, the bottom was kind of like, oh, I can't see shit. Girl, you look cute as hell. What am on?
These shits hurt.
I know you want to be free, but you better serve while they're here.
Listen, you know I'm gonna serve the kids regardless. They're gonna get this good first world health insurance. They're gonna get this. That's for sure.
Gonna get these good choppers.
But my goddamn teeth hurt like hell. I got a headache. I was at the orthodontist today. When I tell you 6 weeks and counting, April 19th, I'm having a motherfucking party. So that's why I know if you guys, that's why I know you ain't gonna have your license by your birthday, because I got a fucking count going.
I'm not. Literally, I was over ambitious, but I know if I can get some extra hours in, I might be able to. But I know it's gonna be about the end of May. So
yeah,
end of May,
to
I'll
say
have my
sometime in
license.
May.
And I'll do some check-ins and updates with you then. But I'm super excited as far as the trajectory goes of, you know, of my life. And I'm just excited to be a dope mom. I'm grateful I had time to steal away and leave my cutie pie with dad inside. They went
Yes, he's a little cutie pie. He hijacked us the last time, but I wasn't even mad about it.
He's such a boss. I'm raising myself.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Male.
I was raised by a January 13th baby. I am very well informed on the bossy.
Pray for me.
Pray for me. This right here. You don't see it? This is not an emoji. This is directly to Capricorn Jesus on your behalf.
He's so sharp. He's so grown, and I'm literally like, where did you come from? Where did you come from?
Something about the 13th of January. They just a different breed of people.
It's almost mystical. It's almost like it's very mystic.
She's a bossy ass woman. Very goddamn bossy. And I'm very matter of fact. Everybody. There's no limit. I remember when I graduated UB, and then I'm gonna let you go. When I graduated UB, my mom came obviously to commencement. It was a shitty weather day, of course, on brand for Buffalo, because Buffalo don't have spring. We got summer and winter.
It's gloomy as fuck. It's gloomy as hell. Yo, Tosh, like we will have all 4 seasons, but it's depressing as fuck. Like,
sis, it was gray. It was a hailstorm, and my mother still wore an all-white fucking ecru suit to the motherfucking graduation. She happened to be sitting next to the parents of the valedictorian. When they announced the valedictorian and her 4.0 GPA in like the fucking chemistry or something, they started clapping, and my mom said, "Oh, is that your child?" And they said, "Oh yeah." She said, "Get the fuck on your feet and act like she did something." Do you know those people, Bobby? Do you know those people? So, baby girl,
you better celebrate your child, motherfuckers.
I wish you the best with that January 13th.
That's your child, and you're not on your feet.
I said, "Mommy, you don't know those people." I was like, you do not know those people. You gotta keep calm, sis.
Mom.
So that is what you have to look forward to with your January 13th baby.
Listen,
You
I'm
got a real
already
one.
knowing, and I'm excited. I love being a Cannamom. I love being his dope ass mom.
I
He really
love
gives
that.
me a lot of perspective and how I'm keeping myself focused and grounded and just enjoying this time because it's flying. It's flying.
I hear
It's
it always
flying.
does. I hear it always does. Well, I appreciate you for coming on. We will definitely check back in with you after you get the license
Yes.
and you are serving us all type of healthy nail experiences. Hell, the next time I'm in LA, I might just come and enjoy the healthy hair, the healthy, nail experience with you.
Yes.
Um,
Literally.
make sure that I will make sure that the people know about all the brands. I will tag all the websites, all the
There's a
social
million of,
pages.
honestly, I just tell folks, if you find my main page, my main Instagram, it's Buffalo716. That's BUFFALOWE 716. From
Oh,
there,
I
just
follow you.
look
I don't
at
know
the,
why I'm writing that
yep,
down. I
just
follow
look
you.
at the bio. And from there, just find what you fucks with. I have a lot of shit going on. So tap in.
Sounds good. We love the dynamic Black women. Thank you so much again, Rhonda, for joining me. Thank you to the Queendom for tuning in. Of course, if you have not gotten your Black Girl SOS merch, get that today.
Yes.
www.brandsnobby.com. And until
Yes, I'm
next
about to go. I
time.
need me one. Your train is cute as hell.
Yes, girl, please tap in. Get into it.
I'm
Get
tapping in
it.
with the tap in.
Yes, get into it. Until next time, Queendom, y'all have a good one. Peace.